Before I get started, I just want to thank the Jewish Genetic Diseases Center of Greater Phoenix for putting on this program, as well as many other wonderful programs, and certainly for inviting all of us here today. It's my task today to talk with you more about hereditary breast and ovarian cancer, which we sometimes refer to as HBOC. With genetics, it gets into be a little bit of an alphabet soup, and we do apologize, but it's the nature of the business, I guess. Excuse me. But HBOC is due to mutations, no worries, in BRCA1 or BRCA2. It follows what's called an autosomal dominant pattern of inheritance. What that means is that changes in these genes can be passed from mothers or fathers to daughters or sons. A lot of times, people, because we're talking about breast and ovarian cancer, they focus on mom's side of the family, but it's important to understand that changes in these genes can come from mom and from dad. Also, what's different than some of the other diseases that are more common in individuals of Ashkenazi Jewish heritage is that this is a dominant condition, so only one mutation is needed in order for people to be at increased risk to develop the cancers we're going to talk about. So getting to those cancer risks, it's important to remember that different studies come out with different numbers, so we always have to talk about a range of risks. For individuals who carry mutations in either BRCA1 or BRCA2, their lifetime risk to develop breast cancer is anywhere as high as 60 to 85%. That compares to people in the general population whose risk is about 12.5%. The risk to develop ovarian cancer is anywhere as high as 15 to 45% for individuals who carry mutations in these genes, and that compares to a general population risk of about 1.5%. There are also increased risks to develop male breast cancer, prostate cancer, melanoma, and pancreatic cancer. We're going to be talking about some family trees as we go through my portion of the talk, so it's important that I kind of educate you about what you're looking at. On a family tree, women are indicated by circles, men are going to be indicated by squares. Anybody who has their symbol filled in is an individual who's been diagnosed with cancer. For my slides, anybody with a symbol that's filled in with pink has been diagnosed with breast cancer, and anybody with a symbol that's been filled in teal has been diagnosed with ovarian cancer. So, looking at this family history, over here you have a grandfather who gets breast cancer at 70. He has a daughter who has breast cancer both at 49 and 55, and she's currently 60. This woman has two children, one with ovarian cancer at 42 who's now 44. There's also, through this gentleman's son, a granddaughter who has breast cancer at 32. So I think we can all agree, looking at that family history, that is very concerning for an inherited predisposition. I kind of think of that as being the textbook example, because it's in the textbooks, we rarely see it in our patient population. What we're seeing here that's so concerning is early ages at diagnosis, rare types of cancer with the grandfather having breast cancer, multiple members in the family with the same type of cancer, multiple generations being impacted by cancer, and whenever we see breast and ovarian cancer go together, that makes us concerned that there's an inherited predisposition. Also, we're seeing it in the same lineage. When you look at your family histories, and I know there was a family history questionnaire kind of included in some of the information, you don't have to have all of these features. Sometimes it's just one or two that makes a genetic counseling, an appointment an important thing for you. But this is going to contrast with a sporadic type of family. Now, Chelsea mentioned it. Breast cancer is common in women in general, about 12.5%. So when we see a family where there's breast cancer in somebody at 70 or 80, that's less concerning for an inherited predisposition. So the general population risk to carry a mutation in either BRCA1 or BRCA2 is estimated to be about 1 in 800. So what you have over here is 799 gray dots meant to represent the 799 individuals who don't have the mutation, whereas individuals, that one red dot right there is the individual who has a mutation, but that's general population. As Chelsea had alluded to, there's 3 mutations that are more commonly found in